Some of my biggest lessons in entrepreneurship really were around understanding about taxes and keeping track of my expenses. This video is perfect for business owners who are really wanting to go into this year having a better hold over their expenses and financial data to ensure that they're able to run more effectively and not lose out on deductions. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Jessie. I am a business coach and consultant for service-based business professionals, as well as a certified Honeybook Pro. On this channel, I love to talk about all things systems, as well as being able to give entrepreneurs in the event space an opportunity to have conversations about some of the back office systems that we don't always get access to. So let's dig in today's conversation. I remember just like it was yesterday, I was 21 years old and I had went to my tax accountant at that point in time to get my taxes done, and I ended up owing money. I was completely floored by this because at that time period, I was actually freelancing as a plus size model. I assumed that all of the time when my agents were actually paying me that they were taking out money for taxes. However, that was not the case. I had received a 1099, so I ended up owing the government money. That was my very first lesson in understanding the importance of keeping track of accurate deductions so that I wasn't responsible for excessive taxes that could have been circumvented if I would have been keeping better track. So this is why I always recommend to other entrepreneurs to get into using QuickBooks, especially for those of you that are using a manual process. Today, I want to be able to share with you 4 reasons why QuickBooks will help you with avoiding these mistakes when it comes to keeping track of your business finances. The beauty about using a platform like QuickBooks is that it can integrate into whatever system you're using when it comes down to a booking system. I often on this page talk about Honeybook. However, I'm sure a lot of you may use different platforms that are out there. Whatever platform you're using, I highly do recommend that you have it integrated into QuickBooks so that it can keep accurate count of the expenses that are coming from your bank account, and then also keeping track of the payments that are coming into your bank account. Keeping accurate data is going to be super key. I find that people are looking for ways to illegally avoid taxes compared to understanding the importance of keeping accurate data with your taxes. For example, one of the benefits with inside of QuickBooks is that at least the QuickBooks Self-Employed, it can track your mileage. So if you are an event planner, balloon artist, or someone that's just in the industry, when you're going to run errands to go pick up supplies, that can be considered business travel. So you want to keep track of your expenses when it goes from one location to the next that are all related to business. You want to keep track of when you're buying supplies. You want to keep track of when you're paying people. The reason why you want to keep track of your expenses correctly, because you'll find yourself having to pay out more on taxes. Your deductions are what's going to help you with saving money when it comes to your tax payout. So if you have this system where you're just putting random receipts into a plastic bag and you're just hoping and wishing that you have all of them in there, that is not something I would recommend. And that's kind of playing Russian roulette with your tax preparation. So you want to use something that's going to make it easy for you to keep track of that. The next thing is that you want to avoid the pitfalls of having improper bank reconciliations. So if you don't use a platform that is integrated into your booking system, you will see that there's going to be a disconnect between what you may have in your receipts as far as your income, as well as the platform you're using for your booking. Having clean books is going to be what helps you with having clarity on your true profit and loss in your business. We often hear people just talking about what revenue their company is bringing in, when revenue is really only one part of the picture. And that's why I did that collaboration with Michelle with Master Bookkeeping, because it was something that I found that most people did not understand the importance of understanding how profitable your company is, especially when it comes to goal setting. So I'll make sure to put a link here so you can check out that previous video to understand how to use your 2023 data to be able to make your goals for 2024. But the way that you can have that information is having clarity on what it takes to actually run your business. So using a platform like QuickBooks will help you with having the ability to do it with ease, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. If you're just starting out, you can try QuickBooks Self-Employed and then work your way up to the QuickBooks Online. I do have a link in the description that will allow for you to get 30% off of your subscription with QuickBooks if you want to try it out. I highly recommend it. I've been using QuickBooks, I would say easily since I graduated college 2003, so I've probably been using QuickBooks almost 20 years. Oh my goodness, when you say it like that, it's been almost 20 years that I've been using QuickBooks. And I always recommend people to use it because you just need to have ease with keeping track of that. And you'll find yourself paying more money to tax professionals if you don't keep that stuff organized. You want to use the rules section inside of QuickBooks to avoid categorizing your expenses incorrectly. The thing about expenses is making sure that you're putting them in the right bucket, because depending on certain regulations that can change yearly, as well as what city and state you're located in, there can be certain things that are deductible while other things may not. Or you may only get a portion of that expense as a deduction. I love that inside of QuickBooks, they have this new rules feature where if it sees that a specific seller is you purchased from. So let us say that you are a Honeybook user. You can have Honeybook listed as a subscription. So every time on a monthly basis, whenever Honeybook payment hits your bank account and syncs into QuickBooks, what will happen is that it will automatically get moved to the rule of being a subscription. So you do want to use rules, and you do want to use rules inside of QuickBooks to save you time, to help you avoid putting an expense in the incorrect category that can ultimately cost you more money when it comes down to deductions. As you can see, the undercurrent for everything is having QuickBooks set up correctly so that you don't have to pay extra money when it comes to tax preparation. Plus, I would recommend, if you are currently still doing your taxes and you're a business owner, it is time to upgrade to working with a tax professional to save you time and money. A true tax professional will be aware of any new tax laws that you can benefit from tax laws or tax credits that you might actually qualify for. So this is where if you do it yourself, you won't always know that. One of the final mistakes that I want to recommend that you look into doing is backing up your data when it comes to QuickBooks. You also want to make sure you're backing up the receipts in which you're using as well. One of the things with the IRS is that, at least the last time I heard, that you needed to at least have anywhere between 3 to 4 years of your records so that if you ever got audited, that you'll have that information. So that too is why you want to use something that's going to make it easier for you to keep track of it, so that if you're scanning receipts, when you're matching up payments, you want something that can be easy for you to locate the data and the receipts and the proof, so that if you ever need to find it, it's not going to be a pain to locate that information. So I would recommend using a flash drive or a backup drive to start keeping track of your QuickBooks, so that if anything ever happens, you can always still have that available so that you can provide it to whomever you need to provide it to, or just so you have records of it for yourself. The biggest thing that I want for you to grab from all of that I've shared is that the technology behind using a platform like QuickBooks is amazing, but the most important thing is that using a platform like this can help you save money. This can help you with making it easier for you to do your taxes, because we're around that time of the year right now. And trying to do things manually will often get you in a position where an accountant or a tax preparer will charge you a lot more money if they have to now add up everything. I love the fact that when I use a platform like QuickBooks, at the end of every year, I can print up a nice report with some supplemental documents and give it to my accountant to do my taxes. And they can knock it out a lot faster than me having to make up numbers and potentially be perjuring information, where I'd rather have real data, real receipts, real numbers that can make it easier for my accountant to do what they need to do for preparing my taxes. So if you're interested in using QuickBooks, I highly recommend it. As I mentioned, the QuickBooks Self-Employed is very user-friendly. So if you do need to get into the kiddie pool version of using QuickBooks, use the QuickBooks Self-Employed because it's very easy to integrate into different booking systems. I would like to hear from you. Are you currently using QuickBooks? And if you haven't actually started using it, I want to know why you haven't. I think this can be a really great conversation to have. I'm realizing that often when people aren't using certain platforms, it's not only because we're trying to save money on subscriptions, but it's just that we don't always understand why it can benefit us. So let's start up the conversation below. And I hope this video is helpful for you to understand why to keep things organized so that you can save money and keep your taxes organized. Peace.